Air pollution is a pressing global issue with significant health, environmental, and economic impacts. In 2024, many cities around the world are grappling with severe air quality challenges, primarily driven by industrialization, urbanization, and vehicular emissions. This article delves into the top 10 most polluted cities globally, examining the causes, consequences, and potential solutions for improving air quality. 1. Dhaka, Bangladesh. Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, tops the list as the most polluted city in the world in 2024. The city's air quality has been severely compromised due to rapid urbanization, industrial activities, and traffic congestion. Brick kilns around the city are major contributors, emitting large quantities of particulate matter, PM2.5 and PM10, sulfur dioxide, SO2, and nitrogen oxides, NOx. Vehicular emissions, driven by a burgeoning population and inadequate public transportation infrastructure, further exacerbate the pollution level. Health impacts. The health implications for Dhaka's residents are dire, with increased incidences of respiratory illnesses, cardiovascular diseases, and premature deaths. Children and the elderly are particularly vulnerable, with high rates of asthma and other chronic respiratory conditions being reported. Mitigation efforts. To combat this, the Bangladeshi government has initiated measures such as promoting cleaner technologies in brick kilns, implementing stricter vehicular emission standards, and expanding green spaces. However, the effectiveness of these measures remains to be seen given the scale of the problem. 2. Lahore, Pakistan. Lahore, Pakistan's second-largest city, faces severe air pollution primarily due to industrial emissions, vehicular exhaust, and crop burning in nearby agricultural areas. The city's Air Quality Index, AQI, frequently reaches hazardous levels, posing serious health risks to its population. Health impacts. The chronic exposure to high levels of PM2.5 and PM10 in Lahore leads to increased cases of lung cancer, heart disease, and stroke. The city's children often suffer from stunted growth and cognitive impairments due to prolonged exposure to polluted air. Mitigation efforts. Efforts to address Lahore's air pollution include policies to reduce crop burning, improving public transportation, and shifting industries to cleaner technologies. Public awareness campaigns are also crucial in encouraging behavioral changes among residents. 3. Patna, India. Patna, the capital of Bihar, India, ranks third among the most polluted cities globally. The primary sources of pollution in Patna include vehicular emissions, industrial activities, and construction dust. The city's topography, with the Ganges River basin trapping pollutants, exacerbates the problem. Health impacts. Residents of Patna experience high rates of respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, with children particularly affected by asthma and bronchitis. The pollution also contributes to reduced life expectancy and increased healthcare costs. Mitigation efforts. The local government has initiated measures such as enhancing public transportation, enforcing stricter industrial regulations, and promoting the use of cleaner fuels. Additionally, efforts to increase green cover and implement dust control measures at construction sites are underway. 4. New Delhi, India. New Delhi, India's capital, is notorious for its hazardous air quality, which results from a combination of vehicular emissions, industrial activities, and seasonal agricultural burning in neighboring states. The city's geography, coupled with its dense population, makes it highly susceptible to smog and particulate pollution. Health impacts. The health impacts in New Delhi are severe, with widespread respiratory and cardiovascular problems among the population. Children are particularly affected, experiencing reduced lung development and higher rates of asthma. Mitigation efforts. To mitigate the pollution, the Indian government has implemented measures such as the Graded Response Action Plan, GRAP, which includes actions like restricting vehicle use, shutting down polluting industries, and prohibiting construction activities during high pollution periods. Efforts to transition to electric vehicles and increase green cover are also in place. 5. Delhi, India. Often considered separately from New Delhi, the broader region of Delhi faces similar pollution challenges. Industrial emissions, heavy traffic, and seasonal crop burning contribute significantly to the city's poor air quality. Health impacts. The health consequences mirror those of New Delhi, with high incidences of chronic respiratory diseases, cardiovascular issues, and premature mortality. The city's healthcare system is often overwhelmed during peak pollution periods. Mitigation efforts. Mitigation efforts include the promotion of public transportation, stricter emission standards for vehicles and industries, and public awareness campaigns to reduce the use of polluting fuels. 6. Urumqi, China. Urumqi, the capital of Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in China, ranks 6th due to its high levels of industrial pollution and coal combustion. The city's air quality is particularly affected by its heavy reliance on coal for energy and heating, which releases significant amounts of PM 2.5 and other pollutants. Health impacts. Residents of Urumqi face elevated risks of lung cancer, respiratory infections, and cardiovascular diseases. The city's pollution also contributes to increased absenteeism from work and school. Mitigation efforts. China's central government has introduced policies aimed at reducing coal consumption, promoting renewable energy, and enforcing stricter emission standards for industries. Local initiatives include planting trees and creating green belts to absorb pollutants. 7. Muzaffarnagar, India. Muzaffarnagar, a city in the Indian state of Uttar Pradesh, is heavily polluted due to its industrial base, particularly sugar mills and paper factories. Agricultural burning in the region also contributes to the high levels of air pollution. Health impacts. The pollution in Muzaffarnagar leads to various health issues, including respiratory infections, asthma, and heart diseases. Children and the elderly are particularly vulnerable to these health problems. Mitigation efforts. Efforts to reduce pollution include promoting cleaner production technologies in industries, implementing stricter emission norms, and encouraging farmers to adopt alternative methods to crop burning. 8. Xi'an, China. Xi'an, an ancient city known for its historical significance, faces modern-day air quality challenges due to industrial emissions and vehicular pollution. The city's rapid urbanization has led to increased energy consumption and higher levels of pollutants in the air. Health impacts. Xi'an's residents suffer from high rates of respiratory diseases, lung cancer, and other pollution-related health issues. The city's pollution also impacts its tourism industry, as visitors are deterred by the poor air quality. Mitigation efforts. The local government has implemented measures to reduce industrial emissions, expand public transportation, and promote electric vehicles. Efforts to increase urban green spaces and reduce dust from construction sites are also in place. 9. Zhuchang, China. Zhuchang, located in Henan Province, is another Chinese city grappling with severe air pollution. The city's air quality is compromised by industrial activities, including coal combustion and manufacturing processes. Health impacts. The health impacts in Zhuchang include increased cases of respiratory infections, chronic bronchitis, and cardiovascular diseases. The pollution also affects the quality of life and productivity of the city's residents. Mitigation efforts. Mitigation strategies include promoting cleaner industrial technologies, enforcing stricter emission standards, and enhancing public transportation infrastructure. The government is also working on increasing green cover and improving waste management practices. 10. Peshawar, Pakistan. Peshawar, a major city in Pakistan, ranks 10th in terms of air pollution. The city's air quality is affected by vehicular emissions, industrial activities, and dust from unpaved roads. The proximity to Afghanistan, with its frequent dust storms, also contributes to the pollution levels. Health impacts. The pollution in Peshawar leads to high rates of respiratory and cardiovascular diseases, as well as eye and skin irritation. The city's children are particularly affected, with many suffering from asthma and other chronic conditions. Mitigation efforts. Efforts to combat air pollution in Peshawar include promoting cleaner fuels, enhancing public transportation, and implementing stricter industrial regulations. Public awareness campaigns are also critical in encouraging behavioral changes among residents. The top 10 most polluted cities in the world in 2024 highlight the urgent need for comprehensive and sustained efforts to improve air quality. While various mitigation strategies are being implemented, the scale of the challenge requires global cooperation, technological innovation, and strong policy frameworks. Addressing air pollution is not only critical for public health but also for environmental sustainability and economic development.